I'm done.
What about the
I've been done
running
with
backs in
Kaiser.
the offensive line? I noticed right away that Lane Taylor was out there and wasn't doing so well. He didn't
He
get
got a penalty on him.
well. I guess my point is that for a guy that everybody acts like is such a lock and thinks we're crazy for saying we don't believe he's going to be on this team on the final 53, why is he not getting rest? You
He
know,
was getting beat by second
like,
stringers tonight.
well, do you notice? Like, I know Lindsley's out there, but Lindsley's out there mainly because I think that they want some sort of consistency with the snap because I think he snaps the ball more consistently in practice to everybody, and it's hard to get a good judge of your quarterbacks if there's snap problems. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's
Yeah.
the only reason Lindsley plays right now. And in the minute he had any kind of minor nick, they pulled him and he was done. And it's nothing major with him. None of these
Yeah,
injuries where guys get pulled are usually major.
they said it was a biceps injury, so yeah, with Lindsley. That's what they said was a biceps injury.
So, any thoughts on the offensive line, Dave, of what you saw there?
Elton Jenkins looked studly no matter where you put him. They moved him from left guard to right guard to left guard to center, and the guy was holding his blocks. So he wasn't getting shoved back. I mean, it's the only guy that I think didn't have a penalty tonight. Alex Light had a couple penalties, but Beer, Pankey, Taylor, there's all of them. And Jenkins was the only one, and he held his point of attack. I mean, I've been screaming it since we drafted him. I'm sorry. Everyone says, oh, yeah, he hasn't taken snaps yet. Sorry. The guy played SEC talent, and for 3 years straight in college, he only gave up two pressures. Two pressures. No sacks. Two pressures in 3 years. Taylor got wrecked last year by Goldman, Hicks, Nichols, and Robertson Harris for the Bears. And we're facing them again week one, and that scared the hell out of me having him on the line at left guard. I'd rather have Jenkins in there. He's used to facing the big maulers. SEC had those big, tough defensive linemen.
A majority of the first team reps, though, on the line?
Jesus, Webbs was slippery. Sorry, man, I'm watching this. He almost had a sack, and somehow he escaped.
Webbs had a good game. I mean, he's good. I think he's going to be the backup for Watson because even if he can't throw as well, I think he's shown enough escapability that
he's been around forever, though.
He's not. Look, he's a prime example of how the league has changed. Where when he came in, nobody's going to keep him. I think he's got a great chance of being a backup if he keeps playing like this. Even if his throws are inconsistent, he's going to have a chance to make this roster and probably be a backup for Watson because they'll be able to design some sort of offense that they can live with and still lean. Their defense is damn good. You know what I mean? And if you can get enough offense out of Joe Webb, a lot of RPOs and some read option with him and just keep the offense where the defense can get a rest and you can win some games. This league shows guys like him can have a place and win you some games. Not, maybe bring you to, but they can keep you from plummeting a season if you got a quarterback that's out for a few weeks or something with twisted ankle, something like that,
What a cheap block, man. That Texan tackle, I don't know who he is, but watch this. When he comes around the corner, number 39 wasn't even looking and hooked him when he didn't even have, wow. Come on, man. Took away Joe Webb's nice run for that freaking one little block in the back. Come on. God. Anyways, I do think Joe Webb could be a serviceable backup, yes, because of the RPA and everything, how it's evolved in the NFL. But
FYI, we are going to talk about positive things about the Texans, too, because we are Packer fans, but we are trying to tell you people our main mission statement, Dave and I have talked about this. We both agree. We want to explain the how and the why, and that's league-wide across. We're going to have bumps in the road because we're kind of learning as we go, too, because we are Packer-centric, but we're going to do the best job that we're not getting crazy with you guys, and we promise not to get hot takey on you. So we are going to – it's not going to – so any of you guys out there that are Packer fans are going, well, why are they saying – that's why. Look, we love our Packers. It's no slight against them, but we have to be honest in evaluating this thing because we love football.
Hey,
And
we got a
that's
big
all.
Eagles fan coming on next Tuesday, Mr. Ben Fennell.
Yeah, Ben Fennell, yes. And and it's all about, and he's an Eagle fan, and you can trust when he breaks film down and says something, it's not because it's a biased, crappy opinion. I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, I think there's a new wave of people coming out there where we can still have an allegiance to a team and yet take those goggles off and evaluate the league, as a whole, and still be honest about it. And look, we're all going to have some fails because that's, we're human beings, but we're going to try
Yeah,
our damnedest. But, the Texans didn't look bad tonight at all, getting it back.
I get it. Oh, Jesus, what happened? So, yeah, I think the Texans, um, one guy that showed out, the tight end Adams, even though he's playing against third stringers in practice squad, I mean, the guy was still there for Joe Webb a lot tonight, and I have to give him a shout out as Adams, the tight end from Houston, looked really good. They have another guy, Akins, I believe, as a tight end, and he looked good as well too, because they got rid of their guys for I think from last 2 years they've had. I think that included Ryan Griffin too, and there was another tight end they had that was injury prone, and they just couldn't. They just couldn't stay healthy, so they rebooted the tight end position
You know what
and
else
brought in a couple
I
of
was
rookies.
pretty impressed with also because they've had trouble with their offensive line for a lot of years. And I guess what I
Yep.
liked a lot from them, initially at least, they have a very erratic mobile quarterback. And there was a few penalties, but they did a damn good job of holding the point and stuff because – like our initial guys, like I watched Kingsley a lot. I was pointing him out to the kids and telling them, that's the guy we had on the show, So we were watching him very closely, and him and Montravius Adams. And they consistently got off the ball very good and got initial penetration, but that offensive line as a unit did a good job of recovering and, kind of recovering and extending the play and giving Joe some places to escape and move without being too grabby too much, because, I mean, let's be real. Both offensive lines got quite a few penalties. But, I mean, taking that aside, I guess, is what I'm talking about.
True. I'll give you that. Well, you know what? I'm going to give a couple shout outs too, besides the Houston and Green Bay game tonight. Um, Going out and looking at this, I was kind of shocked by it. Daniel Jones looked off and on through the whole training camp so far in the OTAs. Kind of had just wild errant throws, and he went 5 for 5. What is it, 5 for 5, 65 yards and a touchdown the first drive tonight. I'm like, yeah, dang. The kid freaking showed some guts, went out there, and I'm like, if he keeps playing like that, they're not gonna have time to freaking sit there and play even Eli. I mean, this Daniel Jones kid, everyone scrutinized the Giants for
I
taking
think
him over Haskins.
there's a much negativity and kind of already a stigma placed on this kid as there is about Rashawn Gary, quite honestly. Because
It is.
like, oh, Rashawn Gary doesn't have the sack numbers. He can't do this. Look, he's not doing that. He's not penetrating. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. Oh, Daniel Jones overdrafted. He can't throw. He's not that. So every time he'd miss a throw or be off in training camp, somebody was putting a GIF out there and with a comment about how terrible Daniel Jones is. It's just like I don't know. I guess look, we all are human beings, and I think it's very easy to be negative, but sometimes it's like, do we really have to put every negative thought that we have out there for the whole world to see? I mean, I know we all
Of course,
have
it's
them, but
social media. Everyone has a negative word.
like I guess it's getting to the point where it annoys me a little bit, Dave, because when you're doing that, you're stymieing your ability to actually learn and grow in your knowledge and wealth of and appreciation for the game, because you're failing to see the how and the why. Exactly what we want to do. You can't see it because you're stuck on a negative point that no matter what people tell you, what facts they lay down, you're going to be able to refute it with a few things that, although they may be true, don't paint a big enough picture to have that kind of a take or opinion, I guess.
Oh yeah, I agree. Um, and then a second shout out goes to Kyler Murray. Couldn't miss on his first drive either. The kid looked good. So did Daniel Jones. I get it; it's preseason, but we're just happy football's back and stuff like this.
But
I mean,
again, what? Okay, so we can't praise them if they go out there and they do well and they're executing the way that their coaches are most likely wanting to see from them. Now, I'm sure there's even when there's positive plays, I'm sure there's a few of those that when they break down film, in their classrooms, they're going to get negative grades or have things to nitpick about. But if the kid went out there and went 1 for 10, you'd be saying, see, you can't use overdraft. He's 5'9",
and
can't
people
play.
will be labeling him bust, bust.
Exactly. So it's like if you're going to be able to pick the kid apart every time he doesn't do something right, don't get pissed at us for giving shout-outs for when they do the things that they're being coached and asked to do and the things you're expecting them to do given their draft status and the hype that was put on them coming out of college. So it's, again, here we go. Kyler Murray, good job.
Yeah, they're showing why he took him that early.
And Daniel Jones. This one's for you, too.
Well, my third shout-out, too, is more of an underrated guy because it's really a solid story. And his name is Damon Shahi Giuseppe. Get this. He slept outside a 24-hour gym during Browns tryouts so that way he can try and make the team. Tonight, he scored his first NFL touchdown. That's dedication, folks. He slept outside of a 24-hour gym.
Shout out to you.
And plus watching the Cleveland Browns overall, man, I watched a bit of the game bouncing back and forth in the Packers and the Browns. Dude, the Browns look fun. Like, we haven't seen this from this Cleveland team in a long time. They look fun. And that's what football is all about to me, is playing the sport and having fun. And the Browns look fun.
And that Brett Favre mentality. And like I said, he's on my list of outside the Packers as one of my up-and-coming young players that's just becoming slow. I shouldn't say slowly, very quickly. Attitude. Look, and
he had 2 TDs tonight.
I'm taking him with the crotch grabbing and the flicking off and the flag planting. I love all that. You may not agree with me, but guess what, guys? I'm 5'8", and that's the exact type of competitor I was because you know what? People were always doubting me and always trying to push it over because they thought I was the little guy, right? And so I had to have that kind of fire. And look, Baker ain't the biggest dude. He ain't got the strongest arm. So how do you expect a guy like that to be this damn good for this long without that type of edge? I absolutely love it. And it's a bunch of grown men. This isn't a 12-year-old doing this at the YMCA game, guys. These are grown professional men. Even in college, they're grown men, man. They can go out and drink. They can vote. I mean, come on, let's be real here. I've got no problem, and I actually really appreciate it. And I think those were some things that he probably won't do again, but I didn't have a problem with it in the first place. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, Baker it's like you said with Favre, it's not only just Favre, it's like deja vu. Because everyone thought, this Favre kid, he's too wild, he needs to calm down. And that's exactly what they thought when Baker started. Same thing when Favre started. When he started in Green Bay, he needs to calm down. He needs to stop doing all these wild antics. No, they're fun for football, and that's what makes it the sport what it is. It's fun. Baker won a Heisman for a reason. He came close to winning a national championship, but missed out in the college playoffs. The kid and the Browns are destined for good things.
Trust me, we have NFL Game Pass. I will be watching a ton of Baker Mayfield.
You mean we?
And the Browns.
How dare you?
We have NFL Game Pass. Yes, we do.
Calm down. I know you're excited.
Oh, yeah. You have no idea. I will be watching film for hours now with no sound and probably listening to Spotify at the same time. Just geeking out because it's not something I've have the capability of doing, and thanks to my great friend and partner and Dave, it's something I will be enjoying to do this season. And as much as my wife hates it, she's also knows that it's she's happy for me because she knows